Now in this video, I will teach you guys how you can figure out whether or not you are entitled to this settlement. We will also discuss how much dough you guys are about to receive from this entire ordeal. On top of that, I'll just do a walkthrough too, just on how you guys can make the claim because it's very simple. And we'll also discuss exactly how much you guys can make on top of everything. Keynote, if you guys have been really affected by this, like very drastically, you're eligible for $20,000 of compensation. Okay, so basically what happened in this situation is that Equifax actually had a cyber attack, a data breach, basically where someone was able to steal all the information from people, their social security numbers, their addresses, what credit cards they have, and this is very sensitive personal information. And this goes back to the topic of how safe our information it is. You know, whenever you fill out that application on your credit card application, trying to get a new card, you definitely think twice about it because you really don't know where that application is being sent to, how it's being monitored, who's exactly seeing your information. So it always makes me wonder as a consumer, like, is my information safe? And this definitely does scare me a little bit too, just because I understand that our personal information goes a long way. I've been doing a ton of research online, and thank goodness they've reported that no one's information has been shown on the dark web yet. That's a whole nother side to the internet if you guys have never heard of it. But they have said that it hasn't reported yet. But the issue is it might not have surfaced yet. Usually a lot of these dark web things, what'll happen is in a couple years, 5 or 10 years, maybe they'll start pushing it out, maybe they'll start selling it then. But at the moment, there hasn't been a huge conflict of interest, but there have been reports of people actually losing their identity that have clearly been associated with this type of issue. Okay guys, so I'm gonna be playing a quick little video that I found online. This is a 3-minute clip. I'm gonna be telling you guys my reaction, my impression, and my comments on this as well. So this is by CNBC. Our girl Kate Gibbons made this video right here, and we're gonna start it.
Each Tuesday, our Eye on Money series looks at financial issues affecting Americans. Well, this morning, we are focusing on an unprecedented agreement by the credit monitoring agency Equifax. It will pay up to $700 million after a huge data breach in 2017. Up to $425 million of that would establish a fund to compensate consumers. About 147 million people, that's nearly half the country's population, had their personal and financial information exposed. Equifax admits no wrongdoing, and a federal court still needs to sign off on the settlement. So to find out if you are eligible for a payout, we are joined by CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Okay, so first of all, right off the bat, this is a ton of money out there, you guys. So I highly recommend everyone to have brand awareness about this. If you guys have not yet heard about this, if you haven't seen anything on the news about it, make sure you guys either share this video or share some type of article to your friends or your family members. This way they will know about it too. And basically what we need to do is actually get enough people to file claims, and this will actually pool together and it's gonna push this to get signed out. Most likely, in my opinion, I believe this is already gonna get filled out because this is the settlement right here, and if they don't go with this, that'll blow my mind.
Always great to see you. Good to see you. Good morning. So this settlement, if it's approved by the courts, who will be eligible?
So again, of those 147 million people, some of them don't even know they were impacted. Way back when, almost 2 years ago, when the breach occurred, you were encouraged to go online to see, hey, is your information compromised? A lot of people did it, but many people didn't. Equifax followed up. They mailed notices. You were impacted. A lot of people blew it off. And so what we really are wanting...
So what she said right there is pretty important. A lot of people did get notices, and I remember how big of a deal this was 2 years ago when I saw it on the news. This was prior to when I even started this YouTube channel, you guys, but there was a lot of noise about this. But the thing was, people weren't really taking this as seriously. It didn't really hit the headlines as much, but now that they've settled and they've realized how much people were impacted, now people are actually more interested now because they see this type of volume with the money signs.
To do here is encourage people to stay on top of this story. Go to ftc.gov/Equifax because there will be a tool available that will let you know whether you are impacted by this credit breach.
So that tool she just mentioned is very simple to use. We will go over that towards the end of the video. I'll go exactly in. You just have to put in your last 6 digits of your social security number and your last name, and instantly it'll tell you whether or not you should file a claim and whether or not you are eligible for this. Most likely, you guys, almost everyone has been affected to this, as long as you're not like a super young guy who didn't have any type of credit report or credit card. If you're someone who's had a credit card for more than 2 years, then most likely I would say 80% chance that you've been affected by this as well.
I'm always amazed when there are settlements like this, just how much money companies have sitting around. Like, oh, 700 million, yeah, we'll get it from the back.
That right there, I agree so much with that right there. $700 million to them is like nothing. They actually set aside a good amount of money prior to this because they knew this happened 2 years ago, you guys. So when I see huge companies like this having $700 million, a close to $1 billion of nothing, I'm like, geez, you know, there are a ton of ways to make money out there, but it shows you really how much of a monopoly there is in the US. This type of stuff always opens my eyes to how much money there's actually circulating around the economy.
So if people do not come forward and stay on top of it, as you say, does that mean Equifax will keep the money?
Well, it's up to this $700 million, depending on how many people jump into the pool.
Really?
But there's really interesting details about what you could be entitled to. So free credit monitoring for up to, say, 10 years, whether it's through other credit monitoring companies or Equifax.
Okay, so that one right there is an additional benefit to what you can get paid out. She'll also describe exactly what other types there are. Let's talk more about that free credit report monitoring. I know it sounds good, but for them, they're not really losing that much money because it's easy for consumers to actually get free credit reports. I'll pull up something right here. It's very easy. You can actually go on a website right here called annualcreditreports.com. This is authorized by the federal government. They are not sponsoring me. There's no way I could even get a sponsorship from them. But every 12 months, they'll send you a free credit report. On top of that, there are other sources. One of the ones I'm going to mention is Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. Credit Sesame is like the third runner-up. So if I go in on my computer right now and I type in best credit checking apps, for example, it's going to give me a list of the best ones. Credit Karma, it's coming in at 1, Mint is number 2, and then Credit Sesame is at number 3. I have used Credit Karma, I do use Mint, but the thing is, sometimes they're not as accurate. One credit reporting tool that I want to tell you guys about is Credit Sesame right here, which is number 3 off of Google. They basically give you the same thing. It's 100% free, and that's why when companies like this try to recommend you, oh, we can give you a free credit reporting tool, or we'll tell you your credit score for completely free, it's already free anyways. I'm getting this free from different platforms, and Discover, one of the subprime lenders where it's a beginner card, sends me my free credit score every month anyways with my bill. It's like literally in the corner of my statement. So it's not a huge plus, but the settlement of $125 per person, I feel like that's not a bad deal as well. But Credit Sesame is one company that I did want to mention. They have been featured by some of the other bigger reputable companies. They tell you exactly how you can access your credit score. They tell you what affects your credit score as well too, how you can leverage it, and basically how you can protect it as well. I think this is a great app that you guys should consider downloading. Check it out, Credit Sesame. If you guys do download it, let your boy know, but I will have it linked down in the description below for you guys to check out. I will also have Annual Credit Report linked down below too, but let's get back to the video, you guys, right over here.
Also, a restoration of your identity, so that is a really important component. So that means if your identity was compromised, they will help you get things back on track. Wow. I think the one getting the most attention, up to 20,000.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. That free ID restoration program, that is very interesting to me, but I don't know how much help they're gonna give you. That's too vague right now to determine whether or not that's gonna be worth it. So most of the time, you guys, if you have your identity stolen, it is a pain in the butt to get everything back. Like if it's a straight up breach where your email accounts, your Facebook accounts, your social security number, they have your driver's license, they know everything about you, and then they have access to your bank accounts, it's usually extremely difficult to get everything back. It's a headache, it's tough, you're losing your money, and it just feels like someone just literally just destroyed you, man. They just took your body. So I think it's nice that they have that option, but I don't know how they're gonna work that out. If I'm talking on the phone to someone in India who's supposed to help me out with this and they don't know much about my story and the reps are just difficult to work with, you know, is this really a viable solution? Is this really beneficial to people like us? The best solution and the best thing that they've offered, in my opinion, is the cash incentive. So let's talk more about what she has to say here.
$1,000 if you can prove that this Equifax breach actually damaged you. So that could be including maybe time spent, maybe it's your identity was used to do something else, and so that $20,000 per person is getting a lot of attention right now.
So let's talk about that, $20,000. In reality, $20,000 isn't that much if you've lost everything. They're able to use your social security number and basically wipe out your bank account or buy a house under your name. Usually that $20,000 isn't gonna compensate for all the damage that's been done over the past few years, and and the future days that we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who has our information. We don't know exactly where it is, and people could just go ham in the future if they want. So, you know, some solutions is to actually beef up the security that we have. People shouldn't be able to breach our sensitive information like that, especially if a company has $700 million to spend like that. They should be reinvesting into that, or at least even half of that, to really just back up all their firewalls so this doesn't have to happen. Now they're facing the repercussions, but the thing is, you guys, we're also facing it too. Someone has our identity, it's out there, and it's already happened. This should be a lesson learned instead of just being a band-aid, putting it over, giving everyone a couple $100 and saying it's game. They really need to focus more on security, especially for the day of age we're in right now. I just feel like that should be the standard. So in my opinion, if they use this as a wake-up call and they reinvest like half of this too back into beefing up their cybersecurity forces, I feel like that's a better investment. That's something I'd rather hear instead of saying, oh, we'll fix all the damage that we've done. Fix the damage that you've done, but on top of that, prevent this. Okay, guys, so that's the video, and I do like the way that they approached it. I just don't like the fact that the liability seems like we should be taking more preventive measures on instances like this. Now, that was my rant. That was the information. I recommend you guys to stay on top of it. Join our Facebook group, you guys. If there's any updates, I will share some articles in there, and I'll just keep you guys up to date. If you guys have not yet followed me on Instagram, make sure you guys do, because as soon as this went up, I put it on my Instagram story, and that's where I can release like these time-sensitive deals. I'm not exactly sure how long this claim is going to be around for. It's probably going to be around for a while, just so the whole general public knows, but I think it's better to fill it out as quick as possible. Just like anything, you know, there's a line to everything. The quicker you get in line, the longer you don't have to wait for it. So, you know, if a million people are actually applying for this, you don't want to be all the way at the end of it. You want to be front of the line, get your money, get out of it. So the next steps you guys need to take to figure out whether or not you are eligible for this and you can file a claim and you can get $125 is like this. It's very easy. You check your eligibility, you fill out your social security number. Thank you. Based on the information you provided, our records indicate your personal information was impacted by this incident. It's as simple as that. It takes you to a big green button that says file a claim. You file a claim online. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And basically you just fill out this information. You go next, you fill out everything right here. If you have family members, if you have your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, add that up. 6 people right there. 6 times 125. And we got $750 that you guys can get right now, potentially for your entire family. So it's not a bad settlement. I know for sure I'll be telling my parents about it. I'm telling all my friends about it. If you guys enjoy deals like this, if you guys want to save money, if you guys want to travel the world for free, make sure you guys consider subscribing. If this video helped you guys out, make sure you guys drop a like. Make sure you guys also share this video with any family or friends or any people you know in real life that might be able to successfully get this claim out too. It's just easy money out there. If this also helped you guys out, you guys can also support this channel by using the links when applying for any credit cards down below. But in the meantime, your boy B. Jung is out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
見ていたはずの夢はいつも思い出せない。